Welcome everyone to Doga Yoga. Today we're doing a beautiful core connection class. So really focusing on stability, focusing on core strength, and really holding ourselves together. So we're not moving super quickly in today's class, but we're focusing on the intention and the feelings. So we're going to start on our backs on our mat. So come on down. Roll on down, feet connect to the earth, close to the hips, knees face the ceiling, palms facing up, shoulder blades melt down the back. Close down the eyes and just start to connect with the rise and fall of your breath. Inhale, feel the belly, the ribs, the collarbones rise. And exhale, release. Inhale. And exhale. A few more breaths like this, just welcoming ourselves onto the mat and into the present moment today. Filling up the belly, the ribs, the collarbones. And exhale, releasing. Inhale. And exhale. When you're ready, gently open up your eyes, look towards the ceiling. Just notice the connection of the hip bones, the shoulders, the back of the head, and the soles of the feet to the earth. Find alignment and symmetry, and just notice the natural curve in your spine. You don't even like to get your hand. You can almost fit your hand underneath your lower back, feeling that natural curve when your body is at ease. When we're ready, we're going to take a big inhale and exhale. Draw our navel towards our spine towards the earth, and take our hands up and reach them over towards the front of the room. So inhale, bring the hands back beside the body. Natural spinal curve comes into the body. And exhale, navel to spine towards the earth. Fingertips reach high. Inhale, back to neutral. And exhale, tuck the tailbone under, core draws towards the earth. Inhale. And exhale. Flow like this naturally with the rise and fall of your breath, just waking up the muscles, noticing the differences side to side. One more. And inhale, come back to neutral. Palms just rest against the earth. Just really release. Now you can just keep your hands on the ground, the shoulder blades really roll down the back, or you can grab the outside edge of your mat here. Really wriggle the shoulder blades together. Really find length in the spine. Tuck the tailbone under, find length on our inhale. And exhale, push into our big toe. Send our hips towards the sky, chin towards chest, into a bridge. We're going to flow here with our breath. Inhale, lower down, tap the lower back to the earth. And exhale, push away. Knees come in towards one another. Inhale. And exhale. 5 more like this. Take our time. Flowing with our breath. Really focusing on pressing a weight into all 4 corners of the feet. Finding symmetry in the spine. When we push up, see if we can activate the glutes, squeezing the knees together. See if you notice any difference side to side in the front body or the back body. And just gently waking up the body today. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to take 1 inhale, drop or tap the lower back towards the earth, and exhale, push the hips up and hold here. Now we can stay like this, or you can wriggle your shoulder blades underneath, clasp the hands at the lower back, and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If your hands are clasped, gently release them. Roll on down vertebra by vertebra and just find that natural space, that natural curve in the spine. And release. You might bring the knees together, feet wide, hands can come onto the thighs. Just breathe. When we're ready, feet come hip distance apart, knees face the ceiling. We're going to bring our knee and hip into alignment. So just lift that foot up and get our shin parallel with the earth, or as parallel as we can. So you might just start with one foot here, just practicing finding this activity in the core. Or you might bring both legs up, zip tying the knees together. Toes face the ceiling, feet are flexed, hands press the earth. Now, see if you can get your hand underneath your lower back, and if you can, lower the heels down. Now we want to make sure there's no gap in our lower back here. We're really tucking our tailbone under as we breathe, really activating our core, gluing our spine towards the earth. So here for 5 breaths, length. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. If you find yourself shaking a little, find some heat and energy in the body, that's brilliant. Really keep on tucking that tailbone under. Feel the core activate. Feel the spine pressing into the earth. And notice your shoulder blades rolling down the back. Lift the feet a little higher if you feel they're drooping. Zip tie the knees together. Last breath here. And when we're ready, we're going to inhale, find length in the spine, really fill up the body with energy. And exhale, we're going to lower our right heel towards the ground. Inhale, we're going to come on up. And exhale, lower the left heel to the ground. Inhale up, slow with control. Exhale right. Inhale. And exhale. Now take as little or as many of these as you like at your own pace, but really notice what's going on in our lower back, in our spine here, protecting our lower back. You'll find just from that intention of tucking that tailbone under, gluing the spine towards the earth, the activity naturally comes into your core, and no matter what movement we're doing, how small or large, we are developing and cultivating strength and awareness in this part of our body. So exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Take one more each side here at your own pace. When we're ready, we'll all meet, shins parallel towards the earth. See if you can lengthen the legs towards the sky, point the toes, feel that gentle release in the core, in the lower belly. You might shake the ankles, shake the feet. And when we're ready, we're going to bring the knees in towards our chest, place our hands on our knees, give ourselves a little hug. And we're going to go with a little spinal massage here. So we're going to rock back and forward, up into seated, and go straight into our downward facing dog. So come into downward facing dog however you like. So I'm going to rock back and forward. Really nice spinal massage here, just getting out any kinks. You can take a third rock if you like. I am, because it just feels really nice. And then I'm going to cross my ankles over, place my hands in front of me, and step back into my downward facing dog. So I'm just going to walk my hands back because I just came off my mat. And really push into all 5 fingertips, push into the toes, and send the chest towards the thighs. Crown of the head points towards the earth. Here for 5 breaths, just finding your dog today. Now you might like to find your dog in movement, so dropping one heel and then the other. You might find your dog in stillness. Just do what feels good for you. Try and melt the shoulder blades down the back. Really feel the chest opening, the biceps come in towards the ears. Find that symmetry, find that balance in the body and breath. And when we're ready, we're going to bend our knees, look towards our hands, pull back. We're all going to take lots of little steps up into our forward fold. So our feet come towards our hands. Get here however you can. It's all a compromise. Inhale, we're going to find a length in the spine, so lots and lots of length. Now we can be on the tops of the fingers, or we can place our hands on our knees and have our spine parallel to the earth here. And exhale, fold. Really just let all tension in the neck and the shoulders go. Let the weight of the world just release. Now we're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, come on up, halfway lift, your version. Find a length, core is on. Nice and strong here, so we're trying to get the spine parallel towards the earth, shoulder blades down the back, shining energy from the crown of the head. And exhale, fold. One more, inhale. And exhale, really release. Just savor this sensation here. Get the crown of the head towards the earth, however you can. See if you can straighten the legs a little bit, or you might have the knees super bent, whatever you need to find that release in the spine, creating space in between each vertebra. Now you might keep your hands on the ground, or you might grab your elbows, gently rock side to side here, releasing. And when we're ready, we're going to gently bend our knees, press into weight into all four corners of the feet, rise on up. Big arm circle up overhead, fingertips touch, little back bend here. Back to heart center, 3 breaths. Inhale, find length here, really activate the core. Feel the whole torso lift and soften. Inhale and exhale. One more big, beautiful breath and release. We're going to step our big toes together, heels slightly apart. Find your comfy space for your chair pose. So we're going to sweep our hands forward, sink our hips back as we breathe. We squeeze the knees together. So the thighs and knees zip tight together, just like we did on our backs before. And we sink a little deeper. Tuck that tailbone under, feel the core activate just like we did on the mat. And sink a little deeper. One more, inhale. And exhale. Now option to stay here, or we're going to flow here a little bit. So come up onto our tippy toes, extra core strength here, a little bit of balance. And we're going to send our left hand, or right hand I should say, down. Drop the heels down when it's beside the hips. And then reach it back, come up onto the tippy toes. Lower the heels down as that hand comes down towards the hips, and then reach it back up, back onto the tippy toes. Drop the left hand down, heels comes down, and then reach towards the back. Down, and then reach. Right hand down, and reach. Heels come up, I'm up onto the tippy toes. Heels go down, and reach. Now we're going to swap the hands at the same time. So left hand goes back, heels go down, and then come back up. And now we're going to swap them both at the same time. So left hand goes forward, both hands beside the hips, and then reach. Left hand forward, right hand back. And we're going to swap all together. Right hand forward, left hand back, up onto your tippy toes here. You can do it. One more. If we're wobbling, that's okay. One more. Left hand forward, right hand back. Woo! Now we're going to bring this right hand forward once more. Reach here, hands to heart center. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and drop down back onto our heels. Then we're going to put weight into our right foot. Step our left foot back, coming into a crescent lunge. Now you can come down onto this knee if you need. So absolutely fine. Hands come up wherever we are for 5. Deep, beautiful breaths. To really find your center, find your core here. Sink the hips down, open up the chest, shoulder blades melt down the back. Pinky fingers turn in towards one another. And when we're ready, we're going to turn to the left. So we're going to open ourselves up to the long edge of the mat. Toes come in, heels out. So just make sure your big toes are aligned. Hands come to the hips, find length here. And this is really nice. You might just stay here. You might have a bend in the knees. You might have them straight, activating the kneecaps. But if you'd like to come on, fold forward, hinging at the hips. So hands come underneath the shoulders or onto blocks, finding length here. And exhale, we're gently sending the crown of the head towards the earth, but we're hinging from the hips. We're not rounding out the spine. So just find your comfy space. You might be on the fingertips, palms might touch the ground. You might sink a little deeper and just release. You might sway side to side here. You might be still. Gently put weight into the balls of the feet. Send the weight forward, and that'll get you a deeper hamstring stretch. Oh, so juicy. Now we're going to sink down into a Skandasana. So we're going to lift our left toes up. sink ourselves down onto our right heel. So bend that right knee. Our right elbow is into the inside of that right knee. Hands in front of us to start with. When we're ready, plant the right hand down, lift the left hand high, open up the body. Shoulder blades melt down the back and breathe. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When we're ready, spiral this hand down in front of us. Now we're going to come over into our Skandasana on the other side in our own time. So gently plant that foot down, lift the hips up, scoot on over. Now left elbow to the inside of that left knee, right toes face up, that kneecap is on. We're really getting into the hip hamstrings here. Finding length, planting the left hand down and lifting that right hand high if that feels good for you. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When we're ready, hand comes down in front of us. Now we're going to spiral ourselves around to the back of our mat. So come on in. We're going to find a lunge. So now you can come down onto this back knee if you were on your knee for your crescent lunge previously. And wherever we are, we're going to sweep our hands forward and up into our lunge. Hold here for 5, 4, 3. Take 2 more beautiful breaths here, savoring the sensation and release. Now we're going to come on out. We're going to turn to the side of the mat once more. So toes come to the long edge of the mat, toes in, heels out, hands to hips, find length. And fold forward, crown of the head towards the earth. Really soften, let go, release here. Hands can come underneath the shoulders, or if you like to walk them towards the back of the mat or the in between the legs towards the other side of the mat, you can do so. And when we're ready, we're going to come back up, lift ourselves up, so onto our fingertips, underneath our shoulders, come on up halfway. We're going to sink down onto the left heel, lift the right toes coming into our Skandasana. Now, instead of opening up the arms here, hands come to heart center, thumb on sternum, revolving. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when you're ready, place your hands in front of you. Shimmy over in your own time to the other side. Now, hands can be in front of you or to heart center for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands to heart center. We're going to come around to the front edge of our mat. So come on up and back into our crescent lunge. 1 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when we're ready, we're going to step this back foot back up to meet the front and sink back into our chair. 5 more breaths here. Sink as deep as we can. Lift the little toes. Zip tie the knees together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And fold. Take the feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees. Just shake and release here. Wriggle side to side. And when we're ready, bend the knees. Roll on up. Big arm circle up overhead. Fingertips touch. And back to heart center. Thumb on our sternum for 2 breaths. Length. And soften. Length. And soften. We're going to sink back into our chair. Big toes together. Heels apart. Hands forward. Hips back. We're just going to hold a straight chair here. Or you can come up onto your tippy toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels down, hands to heart center. We're going to step this right foot back. You guessed it, into a crescent lunge. Open up, this back knee can come down 100%. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When we're ready, really lengthen this right arm, cross this right elbow over the left knee. Now we're coming into our Pravritta Parsvakonasana, our twisted side angle pose. Now back knee can absolutely be down, holding here for 5, 4,
3, 2, 1. Now here is the core part. Rise on up, back into your crescent lunge. I'm going to turn to the other side. So I'm going to face away from you for a second. Other side of your mat. Heels are in, toes are out. Oh, mic just slipped off here. Bend the knees and just get into a bit of a goddess squat here. Heels are out, toes in. I want us to just move energetically here. Lengthening one leg and then the other. And then just sink. Hands come to the thighs, shoulder blades are down the back. Find length in your spine, or you can have them to heart center. And breathe here. Push into the big toes. Tuck the tailbone under. Find length. Core is on for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen the legs. We're going to turn to the back edge of the mat. You guessed it, we're coming into our crescent lunge. Lengthen here, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen this left arm, cross the elbow over. Lengthen the spine, revolve. And breathe and smile and laugh. And if you fall out, it is okay. I've done that a million times. Trust me. And when we're ready, super strong core, activate these glutes. We can do it. Push into the toes, rise on up. Woo! Turn to the other edge of the mat. We can do this. Heels in, toes outwards. Sink on down into our goddess. Now you can actually imagine you're hugging a tree here. We're just going to lengthen the spine, lengthen the legs, reach the fingers high and sink a little deeper. 2 more like that. Length and sink. 1 more, length and sink and hold. Imagine we're holding a tree, hugging a barrel for 3, 2, 1. Lift on up, turn to the front edge of our mat. Now, if you don't know what we're doing by now, I don't know what's going on. We're coming into our crescent lunge. Breathe here. 5, 4, 3, sink the hips a little deeper, push that back heel away. 2, 1. Frame our front foot with our hands. Step that front foot to meet the back. Come into plank. Lower down the knees. Lower down the chest, the hips. Untuck the toes. Walk our hands forward, elbows underneath shoulders, and come into Sphinx. 5 breaths here. Just savoring the sensation and the release. Tuck your chin towards your chest just slightly so your neck isn't crinking. And just find expansion and movement in the body and breath. If you'd like to look over your right shoulder, you're more than welcome to, towards those right toes. Feeling a really nice shoulder release. Ready, come back to center, look over the left if that feels good for your body. Come back to center and melt. Use the hands as a pillow. Just rest the forehead on the hands here and just release. I'm going to take a nice little back bend to help finish off today's class. Kick one heel to our buttocks and then the other. And just see if we can grab the outside edges of the feet with our hands coming into bow. So our forehead can touch the ground or a block. The feet squeeze into one another. So find a length on our inhale and exhale. Push into the feet. Lift the chest up and exhale, release. 5 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Flow at your own pace here. Take your time. Really pushing in to the earth with the hips, the core. Feeling the glutes activate naturally. 1 more and release. Now just nothing fancy, roll on over onto our back. Take our time, knees facing the ceiling, feet towards the hips. Just bring the knees in towards one another, the feet as wide as your mat or as wide as feels comfortable for your hips. One hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, on our core, on our place and seat of power, and find connection to the breath. When you're ready, bring your soles of the feet, or feet I should say, back to hip distance, knees come to hip distance apart. Now we're just going to go the opposite way. Coming into our reclined butterfly, knees out, soles of the feet together. Hands can be wide, they can be on the belly, they can be on the thighs. Just find your comfy space, your place of release in a savasana today. When you're ready, gently bring the knees together, feet connect to the earth. Roll over onto a side that suits you, using an arm as a pillow. And then come on up into seated in your own time. Place hands on our knees, find stillness and find that connection to our core, the seat of power. Feel the energy running through you with your breath. And when ready, take one big arm circle all together, up overhead, fingertips touch. Back to heart center. Sending you lots of love and gratitude, beautiful yogis. Namaste.